Ripley just revealed her big rejection story, so we'll see what's that about. We'll also get into what's new for Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, and more. Starting things off with Rhea Ripley and her big recent reveal. Rhea Ripley said that when she was first coming up in the company, she decided to reach out to Vans via a DM in order to potentially strike a deal and work with them. Rhea Ripley's favorite sneaker brand is Vans, so she thought it was a perfect fit for them to work together, especially considering her growing popularity as a superstar. But Rhea Ripley revealed that her pitch got rejected because they never even answered or acknowledged her message in any way. And what Rhea Ripley is talking about here is something that the community has been discussing for a while. Celebrities get sneaker deals with certain companies, same thing with other athletes in many different sports as well. But when it comes to the wrestling industry, it's more rare to see a pro wrestler with a sneaker deal. Closest we've seen was Roman Reigns and Jordan Brand. Jordan Brand gave Roman some custom Air Reigns merchandise and sneakers, and Roman Reigns is part of the inspiration behind the Air Jordan 12 Bloodline pair that are coming out this year. So Roman appears to have something forming there with Jordan Brand, but it would be nice if Rhea Ripley and other pro wrestlers start getting their own sneaker deals as well. The pro wrestlers could release a signature shoe with the companies, and the entire fan base would come out to get those sneakers, for sure. So hopefully Vans circles back on that message from Rhea Ripley. It's a little hard to believe time went by that fast already, but Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair are quickly coming up on the 1-year anniversary of their tag team and pairing. Alexa and Charlotte first came together in May 2025 after Alexa was the one who pitched the idea to team up with Charlotte. Alexa's pitch was simple and effective. Alexa pointed out how Charlotte and herself were some of the veterans left in the locker room, how they knew each other for a long time, and how they should cover each other's backs and look out for each other. And Alexa's pitch made perfect sense, especially when you look around and see all of the young and upcoming talent in the women's division. These phenomenal athletes keep coming into the roster, the talent keeps growing, so Alexa wants to pair up with Charlotte so they can take on all of these new women together. And Charlotte was initially very hesitant towards Alexa's idea. Charlotte wanted no part of teaming with Alexa, but as time went on, Charlotte Flair went on this beautiful character arc of changing her ways and started to accept Alexa's friendship and partnership. That is probably the biggest accomplishment of the tag team between Alexa and Charlotte. Charlotte returned in early 2025 with her Top Girl gimmick. Her return vignettes featured her in private jets, luxury cars, and private yachts, which are all things that are unrelatable to your average fan. So pair that gimmick up with the fact that Charlotte's character was still a narcissistic heel, and that's what caused such a big disconnection between Charlotte and the fans in early 2025. But through the tag team with Alexa Bliss, we've seen Charlotte transition back to being a babyface and transition back to being relatable. And Charlotte does credit Alexa Bliss for being one of the main reasons why this recent character change and babyface turn has worked out so well. And like Alexa and Charlotte have confirmed themselves, this initially was not supposed to be a long-term tag team. It was only supposed to be a short program, but due to the connection with the fans and the momentum they had as a top tag team in the division, the company decided to make them a long-term tag team with each other. And here they are a few weeks away from their 1-year anniversary, and they're still going very strong. But as they surpass that 1-year mark, and especially if they come up short to win back the tag team titles, that breakup conversation continues to grow. A lot of people have said it before, a lot of superstars themselves have even said it, and that's the fact that Alexa and Charlotte are two massive solo stars on their own. They both have Hall of Fame careers as single stars, so everyone feels like it's only a matter of time before Charlotte and Alexa head back into singles competition, especially since the women's tag team division right now is so loaded and stacked with so much talent. The areas that could use Charlotte and Alexa's help the most is no doubt the singles division. Look at the women's United States title. That championship can't even make it onto the WrestleMania card. That's how much that division is struggling. Even with the main women's title, before the Rhea Ripley feud started, Jade defended her title once against Jordynne Grace, and never really had a fully fleshed out feud before Rhea came along. So the tag team division is thriving right now, and it's the singles division that needs some help. So that's also why fans have been eager to see Alexa and Charlotte return to singles action. It is a bit strange because earlier in the year, they appeared like they were pumping the narrative that Alexa and Charlotte were falling apart. Charlotte eliminated Alexa from the Royal Rumble. There was lots of miscommunication there, and they were losing a lot of matches. They really made it seem like the crash was coming, but then that narrative suddenly came to a pause, and then Alexa and Charlotte started having success again. So it's hard to tell if plans changed there or if that was always the original plans. But coming out of WrestleMania season, now is when fans are going to start buzzing again about a huge split between Alexa and Charlotte, because that will no doubt be a massive moment in the entire women's division overall, and they no doubt deserve a premium live event match to go one-on-one. Considering all the time and story that has gone into Alexa and Charlotte's relationship, they would deserve a huge stage, and that's what has everyone looking at SummerSlam as potentially the very early prediction spot for Alexa versus Charlotte. It's the second biggest show of the year, another massive football stadium show, so it'll be the perfect platform for Alexa versus Charlotte to take place at if they do decide to go down that breakup route. Another big conversation we had all year long about the Alexa and Charlotte split is the topic of who turns heel amongst this duo. And we had the same pick every time we bring this topic up, and the answer for the heel turn is Alexa Bliss. Charlotte just went on this whole entire year-long journey to become a babyface and connect with the fans on a whole new level. So it definitely doesn't make sense to just turn Charlotte heel again and erase everything she's done over the last calendar year. But it does make more sense to turn Alexa Bliss heel and build even more babyface sympathy for Charlotte Flair. And Alexa Bliss's heel turn makes sense too, because as we all saw in the early 2020s, there is a very dark and evil side to Alexa Bliss that's tucked in there somewhere. So having Alexa Bliss turn heel opens up the door for Alexa to tap back into her evil side. And it's also going to slightly open the conversation doors for her to eventually link up with the Wyatt Six as well, since she's getting all corrupted and evil again. So hopefully they do have an exciting direction planned for Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, because there are a lot of great possibilities there for their eventual split from each other. A Monday Night Raw storyline that's continuing in the background is Kofi Kingston's recruitment of Javon Evans into the New Day. This program started when Kofi came up to Javon in the middle of a backstage segment and explained to Javon Evans how much he reminds him of himself and how he wants to take him under his wing so he can show him how to become a world champion. Kofi has been to the top of the mountain before, so he is someone that's very worth listening to. Javon turned down that initial pitch by Kofi, but in the weeks after that first pitch, there's been multiple moments where you can still see Kofi and Javon talking way off in the distance of many backstage segments. Although we can't hear their conversation in these new segments, it's implied that the conversation is still in regards to Javon Evans joining the New Day. So fans are very curious to see if they got a legitimate path planned here, if this is one of those cases where they're putting this backstage segments into the show just to get fans talking, but they don't actually have any plan in mind. You just never know nowadays, so that's why we have to ask that question about if this is a big new storyline or just pointless filler backstage mystery material. It does seem like the program with the New Day could work either way. If Javon Evans accepts Kofi's offer, it's no doubt an instant heel turn for Javon, and it would come with a full character shift for him as well. His personality would be completely altered. But if Javon denies Kofi's offer, Kofi could become Javon's first long-term rival on the main roster. So either way, it seems like it's going to be a big first program for Javon Evans. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.